Cake, rice cakes and
whatever you
brown
want.
rice and
Whatever you want.
all right. Our first guest today is Melissa Rice. Melissa is coming all the way
Maybe
from...
I'll make you some rice, and then we can have Melissa Rice on.
Okay, come on down, Melissa. Melissa joins us all the way from the island of Sanibel. She had to get up early this morning to drive on over. And
good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. We've been working on having you on the show for a while, but months back it was about the manatees. Now.
That's right. It was about the manatees, and we had them all around Sanibel. That was one of our big fundraisers that we did.
And now we have you on for just as big a topic, workforce housing, because over on Sanibel, you figured it out over on Sanibel. What? First of all, tell us, give us a little bit about your background.
Sure. Well, so I'm Melissa Rice. Right now, I'm the executive director of CHR, which is Community Housing and Resources, and we provide the affordable housing on Sanibel. We've been on the island about 42 years, almost 43 years now.
That really shocked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's a long time.
They had a lot of good people way back when that decided we needed to make sure people could stay on the island even when prices skyrocketed like they are today.
Right. What forethought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does it work over there?
How does affordable housing work?
Yeah.
It works well. I'll start with that.
Mm-hmm.
We only have 74 rental units on the island, and that's an island that serves about 9,000 homes on the island. So it's not enough. I will say that to begin with. But the way it works for us is you have to work on the island or be a long-term island resident if you're a retired person. So that way that we can support and continue to support the people who support the island.
So is it one building? Is it houses or how does that work?
Good question. So we're in 11 different locations.
Well, you're not letting me get one in. Yeah.
I should say that more often.
to me.
It's got to be natural. It can't be planned.
Yeah.
So
I like it. So we have 11 locations throughout the island. Some of them were given to us. So over the 42 years that we've been around, the first one was donated by Sam Bailey, actually, of the Bailey's grocery store that's on the island. And that was a new house he built. And it was a cottage that had been on the beach, and it got pushed all the way down to the beach into its current location where it still runs today.
Now, is it all one bedrooms? Is there different varieties?
Good question. So we have 1s, 2s, and 3s. So a variety of units is what we have. We have studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms. Most of them, though, we have 52 of those 74 are 1 bedroom and studio units. So the majority of 52 of them are 2 bedroom units. And the majority of our need is for 1 bedroom units.
So
Do people share?
People can share.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you said you had 74. Now, is it like somebody owns a house and it's a room off the house, or it's a complete house? Or
it's a complete. So they are units. Most of them, a lot of them are duplex style properties that we've built over time. Some of them are individual houses, and then we've built duplexes around them. So it's a variety, and in 11 different locations around the island. So
now besides just living long-term resident or working over there, what other qualifications, or how does someone become eligible?
So to become eligible for our housing, you first either work or a long-term resident, and then you have to income qualify. So we follow HUD guidelines. So we serve the moderate income folks, which is 120% of area median income. I usually lose people when I start talking numbers.
Well, you'll lose him because his math, as he has established,
I had
is
an
not
issue
good.
with my math a few weeks ago.
Yes.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
So we're not going to blame you. It's okay.
Thank
No
you.
judging here.
Thank you.
So
I'll judge.
Oh,
but
she's
go
going to
ahead.
judge me.
So 120% of area median income, and area median right now for a family of 4 is $67,000. So that's how much money they can make in a year and still qualify for our housing. And that's difficult to do in today's market, especially one of the other criteria is all adults in the household need to work full time.
Oh, yeah.
They don't all have to work on Sanibel. Only one has to work on Sanibel. Somebody else can work on Fort Myers Beach, downtown Fort Myers, Captiva, lots of different areas. So
now 74, does that number stay the same all the time, or are you always looking for more?
We are always looking for more. That number has stayed the same for about 10, almost 15 years now. So we are looking to expand as we speak.
So
I would say, given the current economic climate too, like that's now even harder
very difficult. And a lot of people, as you just mentioned, the economic climate. So people have come in, they've bought houses for a lot more money than they were even a year and a half ago. And now they're looking at it saying, well, how am I going to make some money on this house? They could rent it out for a lot more
Sure.
money than what people are paying. So we're finding an influx of people calling us saying, oh my God, my rent is going up $500,
Sure.
$900, even $1,500 a month. People are
Oof.
telling me, and they're struggling already. And they're saying, I just can't do that. What do I do? How do I get in your housing?
So
So-
how do you? So the houses that you have, how does the owner of the house not say to you, "Listen, I can get
They-
$3 million for this
We
house. I
own-
need."
They own the
Oh, you
house.
own
We
them all.
own
I
all
see.
of the 74 units we have. We currently
I
all
see.
own. Yep.
And how much do you charge for rent?
We charge a percentage of income, which is the nationally recognized number that people should pay is 30% of your household income. So we calculate your household income based on verifications, and we charge 30%. So you can be living next to me, and I may be paying only $500 a month, but you might make a heck of a lot more, and so you're going to pay $1,000 a month.
Right.
Okay.
So
Now, what if somebody loses their job on the island and
good question.
thank you.
I should stop saying that.
2-1.
So she was gonna say it. One of the questions I
She's
asked. I could
trying to- you
see
notice
she,
she's
like,
trying-
paused.
I
She
did, I
did.
paused.
You
She's trying not
paused.
to say
I
it.
was like, nope, she's not gonna do it.
Because I could see somebody loses their job and now they're even in more dire straits and then they get kicked out.
No.
Oh, they
no.
don't get kicked out.
So we try to work with people because our job is to provide affordable housing for people who are in need.
Right.
So you're in need whether you have that job or you don't have that job. So we try to continue to support you with services that we have. So one of the things we have in place is that you have an 8-week time to find a new job.
Oh, great.
So we're not going to kick you out. We want you to actively be looking for something. And right
Right.
now in today's climate,
Yeah.
jobs are pretty easy to get.
Yeah,
Whether
jobs
they're
are-
the one you want.
Jobs are pretty easy to get, but there's also more lazy people than there used to be.
Well-
Like it's like what do they call it? They call it the Great Resignation. Like people are quitting their jobs, and
Yeah.
I mean, so you get 8 weeks, and then 8 weeks in one day, if they're not employed, they're out because somebody else needs that place.
Exactly. And
Thank
we
you.
have a long waiting list. So
Oh, you do?
Yes.
How many
yes.
people?
41 applicants on the waiting list right now.
All employees that work on Sanibel.
Most employees that work on Sanibel. We have a couple of retired folks that are also on the waiting list.
Oh, so you said that before.
Yeah.
Retired, you'll put them on in the
They're
housing.
retired, but they had to have lived on the island for 10 years.
10 years.
Because unfortunately, we had a lot of people from up north who thought this would be a great place to come retire, which it is for
Sure.
many of us.
Right.
Um,
But you need money on
we
Sanibel.
need money on
Yeah,
Sanibel.
Yeah. What's that all
And
about?
we need to support Sanibel. So the people that are lived on Sanibel, typically that are retired with us, have worked on Sanibel for a long time and just got priced out of their house where they were.
Right.
And so they're looking for their next option too.
So does
So-
the house ever come for sale and then you start like trying to buy it?
We have done that in the past.
Does
yes.
it ever work? I mean, I
Um,
can't imagine it works out very often on Sanibel.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you operate on donations
Can
or?
you let me ask a question?
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
you were
that
here.
was one of
Sorry,
my
I didn't know. I didn't know you
questions.
want to participate
No.
today. I'm just waiting. You see, there's a
Before-
pregnated pause after each answer, which is you kind of
No,
me
no, no,
kind of
no.
saying, okay, if you want to ask a
you're
question,
all
you can
like,
ask a question.
You've had way too much coffee.
You two are so cute. Can I just say that?
Oh,
Cute.
wow.
Cute.
Like
You
puppy
are
dogs.
adorable.
Thank
the
you.
bantering back and forth. I love it.
So
Thank you.
before you answer about how it's funded, can you talk a little bit about what LEOs are, what Leos are?
Yes.
Yeah, you were going to say
Good.
it.
She's off the good
I was.
question
I had
thing
to
now. She's
pause.
figured it out.
So LEO or LEO stands for Limited Equity Ownership. And we have a program within CHR, Community Housing Resources, that we built up about, I think we started that 12 years ago, give or take. And it is a program where we can offer ownership opportunities to people who, again, income qualify. So you have to be in that moderate or below income level. And we have 14 units that fall in that category.
Wow.
So the way that works is you have to follow our eligibility. So you have to work or have lived on the island for a long time. And then if you qualify income wise, we can offer you a unit to buy on your own. So you have to be able to purchase it. You have to have enough money to put down. You have to qualify at the bank or have had enough cash that you can purchase it outright. And we only have 14 of them. So they
Yeah.
don't come up very often.
Mm-mm.
Many of them were originally sold to persons in 2009. I had 2 come up in all of this time.
Yeah,
since
I'm
then,
sure
so.
once people get in there, they're staying.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
a little-
as long as they can.
Just a little side question. Every once in a while, something pops in my head.
Oh,
On
boy.
Sanibel, do they play pickleball on Sanibel?
They do.
They do.
And I do too.
You do.
I
Okay.
do.
So the question is pickleball like a ball, or is it like the thing that you play with badminton? Is it like a hard ball?
The shuttle.
Like
It's
it-
a wiffle ball.
It's a wiffle
It's a
ball.
wiffle ball with holes in it.
So if it hits you, it could hurt.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
because you have
could test it out if you want.
no, because you usually you have some kind
That's
of.
a good one. You could stand there.
I could take wiffle
with your
balls.
shirt
I think
off,
you know
and
I
we
could take
can
more than
whip.
wiffle balls. But usually you have a layer of clothing anyway. That's not going to leave a welt on
About
you.
like what you have on.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it,
where
it
do
can leave a bruise for a little while though.
all right? Where do they play what's it called?
Wiffle ball.
Pickleball.
Pickleball.
You know, back in the day we used to play wiffle ball.
Yeah, it was
That
fun
was a
with
fun
the bat and the
sport.
ball, right? Like
Yeah.
Well, yeah, with the bat and the
Plastic,
ball.
all
Yeah,
plastic.
yeah.
But
But it was
this
a
is a
smaller
paddle.
white. It was a smaller white ball.
the okay.
Now you guys use a bigger yellow ball, right?
It's a big.
why are
and
they
actually
yellow?
various colors. They're
I
yellow,
see.
neon green,
Okay.
pink now, orange, blue.
So that you can see them.
Why is it a big thing? Why is pickleball a big thing?
Oh, you haven't tried it.
No. I mean,
Oh.
I wouldn't even know where to go to play.
Really?
Yeah.
There's so many places to play now, and
Really?
over 4 million people are playing pickleball today.
Get out.
Wow.
Yes, in the United States alone. It's incredible how
Does
much
Holly
it's
Smith
growing.
play pickleball?
Holly Smith has not, to my knowledge, played pickleball yet.
Why did
I've
you?
asked her a couple
neither
times.
confirm
Yeah.
nor deny.
What about Kevin Wayne? Is he a pickleballer?
No, but
Can you imagine
Kevin's-
getting hit by a pickleball that comes from Kevin Wayne's
that would be
racket?
difficult.
Oh yeah,
that,
you get out
that
of the
would
way of
hurt.
that thing.
That would
Yeah.
probably hurt a lot.
That's
sure.
going to leave a
Kevin's
mark.
wife has a pretty good pickleball.
Oh,
game.
she's
So,
a pickleballer.
Yes, Doreen is awesome.
Yeah. So, by the way, I think they just had an anniversary the other day. Did you see
They
that
did.
on the
I did
Facebook?
see
What year
that.
was that? 27 or
I
something like that? Yeah.
Didn't pay attention to
Yeah,
that.
they're-
Where do you play?
On Sanibel, there's a place called the Sundial Resort.
Oh,
and
sure.
Beach.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
been there, haven't
That-
we?
long,
Yeah.
long time.
I don't
They
think they
have
had
12
pickleball
courts
back
there.
then. Wow,
Yeah.
12 courts. I'm sure they're always crowded.
They are always crowded.
So now
It's a
is
lot of
anyone
fun.
playing tennis anymore, or has everybody moved to pickleball?
Well, if I had my way, everybody would move to pickleball. But there
Ah.
are still some people playing tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have this
Yeah.
park up here. What's this park called with the volleyball thing? Crescent Park. They
Mhm.
have two volleyball courts. Can you
Oh.
imagine if they made like all that
Into
area
pickleball.
pickleball? It'd be packed all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you'd bring a lot more people down here. I think City of Fort Myers Beach should think about that.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
they
it's a
have it
county-owned
at
piece of
Bay Oaks.
property.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have it at Bay
Yeah,
Oaks.
oh yeah,
I
they
think
do. They have it at Bay
Yeah.
Oaks. Yeah. So back to the main.
So we were talking
topic.
about, and I segued from your question. So yeah, go ahead and tell us how you're funded, how you keep all of this going.
Well,
Yeah.
We know what you're thinking. We know what you're thinking.
funny you should ask that. So some of the way we get funded is by doing events. And one of our events we held, bringing it back to pickleball for a minute, is we had Swing for Hope and had a pickleball tournament on the island at the Sundial. And we raised a lot of money
Wow.
for our affordable housing.
You charge a team of 4 a certain amount of money, and then double
We-
elimination, something like that.
Something like that. We
Okay.
charge each person on their own, and then
Oh.
we kind of paired people and did a round robin kind of situation. We had tennis then too, but the pickleball outnumbered the tennis about 10-1.
Yeah.
The amount of people
Wow.
that signed up, it was incredible.
How-
And Lily's Jewelry Store was one of our big sponsors for that. So
Now,
that was
when
a
you-
lot of fun.
Pickleball, is it 2 people on each side? Is it doubles all the time, or is it singles and doubles?
It's singles and doubles, just
Okay.
like tennis, but it's a much smaller court.
yeah. You don't have to run as far, right?
No, you don't
Yeah.
have to
It's
run
not
as
really
far.
exercise, is it?
Oh, it's a lot of exercise.
Really?
Oh yeah,
It's sprinting.
it's a lot of
Yeah.
exercise.
Are you allowed to spike it, or is it you really just got to have good? You have to be a good sportsman and hit it to the other person.
No,
so that,
you're allowed to spike it.
does it ever
but-
get serious, like
Oh,
people
yeah.
fighting and stuff like that?
Oh,
like
yeah.
There's
climbing
been
over the
videos
net.
Oh,
of that.
yeah, definitely depends on who's on the other side of the
I
net.
see.
That
Who is-
doesn't happen in Sanibel.
Never.
No.
Who's the best pickleball player on Sanibel?
Oh,
Come on,
that's
I'm
a
sure you
loaded
know.
question.
Come
I
on.
don't think I could answer that.
Best female, best male.
Can't answer that. There's a lot of really good players on Sanibel.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't
And
they?
Naples and Fort Myers.
Didn't they have
and
the pickleball championships in Naples or something?
they did. They
did.
just
Yeah.
recently had the U.S. Open down there.
Did you go and watch? Like,
I went and played. It
Get
was a lot
out.
of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
so can I?
How'd you do?
I did well. I played well, but I didn't medal.
What place did you come
Yeah,
in?
One of those.
What place did you come in?
Well, in our division, there were 50 something teams, and
Yeah.
I can't remember what place we came
Like-
in.
I'm sure it was like 4th.
Thank you. I love you.
Well, I love those shorts,
Oh,
by the
good
way.
grief.
They're so
Come on
comfy,
already
too.
with
They
the-
are so cute.
So if you play, like I've never played before, if we played each other, would you beat me
Yes.
in the first match?
Yes.
Like how many points do you go up to?
You go up to 11 points.
11. You have to win by 2.
Yep, you win by 2, 11 win by 2.
Yeah. So would you win or would I win?
I would win.
You would win.
I would win.
I see. We
Hands
might have to have
down,
a,
no
uh,
hesitation
A
on
friendly
that one.
bet there.
No hesitation there.
I don't even. Where do you buy a racket? Can you get one at?
Dick's Sporting Goods
I
has
see.
them.
What do they
but you
run?
can get them online too.
Yeah.
Anywhere from, I guess I've seen them as cheap as $60 and as much as like $300 or $400.
Good Lord.
You don't need the
Wow.
really expensive one though, but more than $60 is a good idea.
Yeah. How big is the court?
That's, you're testing my memory. I think it's 44 feet by 60 feet.
Yeah. I
something
mean,
like
how
that.
am I going to know whether that's
Can you
right or
get out
wrong?
there
So it
with a
sounds good to
ping pong?
me.
It's good.
Is it bigger
maybe-
than a racquetball court?
It's less than a tennis court and bigger than a
I
racquetball
see.
court.
Maybe you could use a ping pong paddle.
Some people
Wait.
do actually. People who play ping pong are very good at
Of
pickleball.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to play
Just
ping
bring
pong
your
back in the day.
paddle.
So somebody said we're mixing workforce housing and affordable housing. We probably are.
We are. They're
Yeah.
both one and the same, honestly,
Yeah.
in today's market.
Like, what advice do you have for Fort Myers Beach? Like, they're really struggling down here because it's the same kind of situation. The property's so expensive. I mean, the town, Sanibel didn't buy those properties. It's a completely separate organization from the government.
Yes,
Mhm.
correct.
So how do you make it work on
and
Fort
they
Myers Beach?
started 40 years
Yeah.
ago.
We did. They
Yeah.
had a lot of foresight. It was our four founders were amazing to do that. But today on Fort Myers Beach, one of the things they can do, and you have the same issue Sanibel has. You
Right.
have traffic getting on and off the island, which precludes people from wanting to work out here. So you need more people to live out here so that you eliminate some of that traffic. So I know you have a big construction project going on, and that's
It's
going
a
to bring
little-
more
yeah, it's a little
people and
big, yeah.
more employees that are
Right.
going to be
Right.
needed.
Right.
So one of the things that CHR did is we started to locate land, which we're still doing today, which is hard to come by. And
Sure.
imagine on the beach, it's hard to come by
Right.
too. So you identify property that perhaps somebody would donate to you or that you have to purchase, and then you build.
Well, see, here's the
Unfortunately.
thing. The town, one of the things, the town spent $2 million on a piece of property that they now own behind Town Hall,
Oh.
which is really, it's not even a mile. It's basically a mile, a little bit less than a mile away from here, where a lot of the employees are.
That's
And they
close.
were gonna put a mooring field building there so that people can do their laundry and stuff. But the residents in that area decided they didn't want that, and they talked the town out of it. But I mean, why not build like an apartment building there? Change the zoning because you own the land. You can change the zoning and
Yeah.
build like 74 units.
Yeah,
Why not do that?
exactly.
I mean-
or maybe
At the
start
cost
smaller.
of
You can
that-
build 20 units and ease people into it a little
Mhm.
bit.
But should the government be in the business of doing that, or should they say, okay, we're going to contract it out with CHR maybe?
You know, that's a good question. Many places
3-1.
many places in the nation do it themselves. The government does it themselves.
No
and
kidding.
has it. Lee County actually has some
Mm-hmm.
themselves. But a lot of other places have nonprofits like my organization, and they do it for the whole community as opposed to throughout the government.
Mhm.
So there's lots of different ways to do it. One of the ways that I think CHR does it and we do it well is that because we're not a government entity, we raise funds. So we go out and we get donations and sponsor support. We can do events, and there's not all the red tape that if we were a government entity we would have.
Right. Yeah, I was looking on your website. The list of sponsors and
Yeah.
it's long.
How big is your budget?
It's a lot.
We're $1.3 million budget this year.
Well, that's not huge.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not huge.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not huge, but we, with that's how we maintain the properties
Mhm.
and getting ready
Okay.
to build. So that's what that's for.
Well, and the build, I mean, that's the thing.
The
I
build
mean,
is going to cost a lot. And if I can move to that for a second,
Sure.
we have identified a
We'll go
piece of
right away.
property. And we have a very generous donor on the island that is the Johnson family that owns the grocery store. And they're donating 2.5 acres to us behind the store.
wow.
And that's just going to be awesome for us because we've been looking for land for about 10 years. So I was on the board of CHR back starting in 2012. And then about 5 years ago, the executive director was retiring
Mhm.
and they offered me the position,
Right.
twisted my arm rather. I wasn't sure I wanted to do it, but we took it on and here we are today
What-
looking for more stuff.
What is your background? Like, how
I am a commercial real estate broker
okay.
and
Oh,
I've
well then, yeah.
You know your
managed
stuff.
apartment communities for a long time.
So how many times and how?
Well, wait, I just
Ugh.
want to ask. So that generous donation,
Yeah.
and so then you're going to build on that?
We are going to build on that. And we hope to build, I would love to build 30 units,
Wow.
But we're getting through that process with the government now to figure out what we can do.
And then you contract out with builders, or are there builders that donate?
Good question.
Nah.
We have been talking to several builders who possibly would help us with a lowered cost, and also we've been talking to Habitat for Humanity
Mhm.
because they did that build out themselves. These are not going to be owner occupied, so they're not going to be part of our limited equity
Okay.
ownership program. They're going to be in the rental program. So we would ask for a lot of volunteers to help us build these when we get to that point where we have opportunities for them.
And obviously the property's on Sanibel, right?
It is on Sanibel, and it's mid-island. Like you were mentioning, the one here is about a
Right.
mile away.
It's
This one
perfect.
is right in the center of the island, so you wouldn't even have to have a car if you lived there. You could bike ride to almost any location
Yeah.
you would work
That's what if I lived on Sanibel, if I win the lottery and I could go move to Sanibel, that's what I would do.
Right?
I
Because you
would
have great
bike
bike
around.
paths
Well,
because they're
yes.
off the road.
Yes.
We have it's over 25 miles of bike paths throughout
Yeah.
the island, and they're increasing it every day.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
So how often and how many times has Fort Myers Beach, the folks that are working on it here, reached out to you and talked to you about what you've accomplished over there?
A
Wow.
couple of times.
Who do you talk to?
John Talmadge, who is with the city of Fort Myers, actually, he and I have talked quite a bit.
He's
Not familiar
from-
with John?
No, I mean on Fort Myers Beach.
On Fort Myers Beach. It's been a while, and
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was a lady, and I can't remember her name. I'm sorry.
Town council member?
No,
Okay.
not town council member.
Yeah.
But I would welcome talking to any of them that would want to.
Don't you
That
think
would
they
be
should
amazing.
contact you? I mean, that's
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You know what
if
you're
you'd like
doing.
to contact us, you can get me at our
why are you
website.
looking at me like that? They should be talking to her. She knows
That's-
all she knows her
Dear,
stuff.
just put the information out there. Don't express an opinion. No one cares about your opinion. As
She's
people
right.
have said
Nobody
a million times, you don't live here. So, anyways, go
So
ahead.
shut up.
Well, I will say affordable housing is needed everywhere,
Yes.
nationwide, right today.
Yeah.
So, and I would be happy to share our formula and how we've done it on Sanibel with CHR.
Ashley says if you wait long enough, Joe Biden will pay for all the housing. Now that's going a little too far, Ashley. Stop picking on our president. Where is affordable housing in the city of Fort Myers? Do they have buildings?
They
Yeah.
have in the city of Fort Myers, they are looking at building along 41. There was
Okay.
an old mobile home park that I think they bought across from the
I
Edison
think I
Mall
saw
or
it-
in that
Oh,
I
area.
think I
yeah,
saw an
yeah.
article
Yeah.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That'd be a perfect spot right
Yeah.
over the bridge there. Here, I mean, over the bridge here is also another perfect spot for that.
There's
I mean,
a lot of locations.
Yeah.
You just have to find it, and you got to have a little bit of capital to be able to buy it.
Yeah.
Right.
How many
That's
employees
just
do
not
you?
technically on the beach, though, right? So,
It's part of the fire district, but they're not allowed to vote. It's considered
But
Fort
I
Myers
mean-
Beach.
Oh.
It's a little goofy.
yeah. For-
How many employees do you have?
There's only 2 of us today.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We run a very
Wow.
lean.
So you're out there
staff.
cutting the yard and painting the walls and all that yourself
I wish I could do that. I am not good at any of that.
because you're too busy playing
Those are
pickleball.
Too busy
Yes,
playing
she said.
pickleball.
How many times a
I
week?
wish that too.
How many times a week do you play? Like,
As often as I can.
yeah. So what's the bet going to be like
For the
when
the
we play?
pickleball game.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it's got to be
We're
like,
gonna bet.
oh yeah, I mean,
Oh.
it's got to be some kind of donation to your organization or
I
something.
love that.
Yeah, I'll get some sponsors
Yeah,
and
let's do
I'll
that.
play best 2 out of 3.
There's a great idea for a fundraiser.
That's right.
Kind
Yeah.
of like one of those marathons where people walk
Yeah.
and they got to get money to play.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
people
yeah, we
walk
should
during
do something.
marathons?
Or
You
You're
know,
right.
no. But where
you know what I'm talking about? Like Jerry Lewis used to do.
Yes.
You would
Jerry
do like the
Lewis.
20 miles. I know. I'm
That's
dating
when we
myself.
used to watch the,
Oh,
the
my
telethon.
goodness.
Remember
You
Jerry
remember
Lewis when he would cry
Ah.
at the end? When he would sing that song, he'd cry at the end. We'll never walk alone.
I
Oh.
remember.
Remember that song?
I
Can you
remember
sing
doing
that?
that.
No,
though.
that's the only line I remember from it.
I remember getting the donations and walking in one.
Yeah.
One time I was a kid too, and I don't think anyone realized how long it was. Me and my friends were out there. It was like 10, 12 miles.
Do you remember who Jerry
It's a
Lewis
long-
used
It
to?
was too long.
Who
for
was his
kids.
comedic partner?
I do not remember.
Come on, you guys. Jerry Lewis and
Dick Van Dyke.
no,
I
come
like him
on. Somebody's gonna know from the troll
All right,
audience.
somebody
there.
will
They're
pick
gonna
it
know
up.
for
There,
sure.
maybe you got
Sinatra?
an answer.
No,
Oh.
not Frank Sinatra. Come on.
I don't know.
So, the manatees. Let's talk about the manatees.
The Manatees was
Um,
another fundraiser we did, and we did it the last 2 years. And we started it during COVID. We needed to still continue to raise some funds for that $1.3 million
well,
budget.
what
we
was the
have.
fundraiser?
It was an artist decorated manatees, and we put them all around the island. So we got sponsors to sponsor them, and then we auctioned them off at the end of the fundraiser.
What'd they make them out of?
They made them out of fiberglass.
So you had a specific kind of, this is how you're going to do it. This is, people are going to go around
we
judging
bought
them.
the preforms for
And then let
everybody
the
and gave them
artist-
to the artists and let them design how they wanted to.
Colleen is first. No, Karen Woodson was first. Karen Woodson is running for town council, by the way. She got Dean Martin, of course.
yeah,
How can you guys
that's
forget
right.
that?
I get them all confused.
Now I remember.
Yes.
You know,
No. If you want to do, I think you should dress up in a manatee costume and play pickleball.
Oh, come on. That's crazy. How am I
Would
going to win
anybody
that
pay
way?
to see him do that?
How am I going to win? I need to win. Listen, I'm going to win.
I want to
And
see you try to run in a manatee costume.
I
That would
think
be
I
interesting.
think I could get $2,000 worth of sponsors to play.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you're on. Let's
Now, what's
do
in
it.
it for me though? I mean,
think,
what if I
think we
win?
should play doubles though. If it would-
No,
singles,
Yeah.
doubles
There's
would
this-
be better.
Doubles is fun.
Is it gonna
Doubles
be-
is fun. The two
Yeah.
of you.
no,
Oh,
we
boy.
cannot.
Can
Actually,
play
that's got to
together? I
be
wanna play
videotaped.
against
That's
them.
got to be videotaped.
Oh,
I'll play
fun.
with
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have to get a partner. I've got one.
Who do you have?
I have her.
I'll ask Ray Murphy if he'll play on my team.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
I'm sure I could find 49 people that might want to be on my team,
I
but
don't think so.
probably not. So, who won the manatee contest?
So the manatee contest, it wasn't a win or lose.
No,
it
people
was
bid
we
on it.
auctioned them
Oh,
off.
who-
So we won. CHR won.
Right.
How much
because
did
they
you
all
raise?
were auctioned off over $215,000 the previous year and almost
moly.
$260,000 this year.
How many manatees did they build?
We've had 15 the previous year and we had 24 this year.
How do you raise that much money
See,
from that?
Isn't that
So
amazing?
few. Like, because people on Sanibel got money. That's why. Yeah.
They have money, but actually some of the people were not
And
on
they're very-
Sanibel that ended up buying them.
And they're very generous.
They're
Oh,
very
yeah.
generous
That's-
and
it's
they
for a
see
good
the
cause.
need for
Yeah,
affordable
good
housing.
cause.
Yep.
Sweet.
And they love the
Yeah.
artists. Some of them, we had one artist, Jenny Dickinson, who actually has done a lot of things around town.
Ed McMahon. I'm still reading the names. Ed McMahon. All these people are dead, by the way. Dean Martin, Ed
Is he
McMahon
dead?
is dead. We should play
Aw.
that game one time, dear.
Oh,
We should
yeah.
play Who's Dead or
That's
Alive.
sad.
It's so hard to remember some of those. Like Jerry Lewis he's dead too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Frank Sinatra dead?
Yeah.
They're all dead. Elvis, he's dead. Everybody's dead. We're all dying, by the way. I don't mean to bring us down, but what were you saying
Wow.
about
Very down. So
Speaking of
this year,
dying-
instead of manatees, we're going to do, I believe, shells
Oh,
and have
nice.
artists decorate shells.
why are the manatees dying? Are we saving any of these manatees? Is this lettuce thing working that everybody's putting on the bottom of the ocean floor there? You
Well,
don't know?
No idea.
I think
Yeah.
the
I think we need to.
supplemental
Yeah.
lettuce. I think that they're no longer doing that.
Oh,
but
they
it was
stopped doing it?
successful.
Yeah. So
I
are
mean, it
you a
did help.
DeSantis fan or not? Or
Why do you always have to?
I
go
just
there?
say I interested.
Politics are a difficult thing to discuss on
I
the
see.
air. So
we
yeah,
could
I'd
discuss
rather
it
not.
off the air.
Sure.
All right. Did we miss anything about your?
Oh,
You have
about-
any other fundraiser? Like the next fundraiser is going to be when? I really think the
We
pickleball
do.
fundraiser is a great idea.
I think we're going to
If
have
you
to
don't
do that
say
again.
so yourself.
Yes.
Well, we'll have to plan that.
Who
That'll
was
be a
that?
lot of fun.
Was the fundraiser that they did for a different organization, or was it for yours at the
For
Sundial?
ours.
Oh, when is
well,
the next one?
the Sundial does lots of different things.
Yeah.
So the one they did for us a couple years ago was for CHR. So,
Got it.
but they do other round robins and tournaments and stuff like that now too. Especially pickleball's picked up so much.
Yeah.
They have a lot of things. I would
Who-
encourage people to look at it.
Who invented pickleball?
Actually, some people out in Seattle area, so
Really?
in Washington,
Huh.
and they had a dog named Pickles. Is the story that I've heard, and that's why it became pickleball.
You really know a lot about this game.
It was in
That's great.
1965. It's been around a
No
long
way.
time.
Is it
I know.
I'm surprised it's not an Olympic sport.
They're trying to make it one.
Really?
Yeah.
I think professional wrestling should be an Olympic sport too. I
think
mean, if
everything
you want
should be.
if you want people to watch the Olympics, then you know
It should be
professional
wrestling.
wrestling. So
what do you think about that?
I don't
She
know
doesn't.
about professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Pickleball, I could get behind a
Did you
movement
s-
to add that.
Did
Yeah.
you see? I'm this is going to be a little sidebar here, but did you see this whole new thing with the naked pickleball?
I saw a blurb about it, and
Isn't that
I
isn't
would
that
not
crazy?
be interested in playing
I'm sure
that.
they're not doing that on Sanibel, right? They're not.
Please don't
You never know.
suggest that
no.
for your fundraiser.
I'm just thinking. No, I would never put. No. So if you're playing naked pickleball, I'm
Maybe a
thinking like
fig leaf
the first thing you
pickleball.
want to do, like, is welt somebody. Like you're trying to, either the ladies are trying to hit them down, right? And the men are trying to hit them higher, right? I mean, how can you concentrate on the game? Like there's these plus these people that were playing. Did you see the pictures? They're like 90.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep things firm when you're 90. That's why you wear clothes.
And can you imagine
just-
running? And it's all
No, it's all running
I just
around
think
and
you get to that age and you just you so don't care. So you just
really
do whatever you
I
want
would
to do.
think it would be hard to concentrate on the game when all
so
that
the
stuff.
women would have an advantage.
They would? In what way?
Well, if it's
They've been
hard for you to
distracted.
concentrate on the game
Yeah, then you
I'm just
can't
thinking
win.
in general,
can you is that a pay-per-view thing? I mean, you think people would pay to
No.
it's
No.
naked pickleball. Then
they
Michael
might pay not to watch it.
Michael Buffer comes out and of course he's naked because his
You
name's
know,
Buffer.
and I don't think that like naked beaches and that stuff that hasn't been popular for
No.
a while.
No?
Not that I know
Not
of.
that yeah,
Oh,
I
boy.
might be missing something though.
I know.
Well, Melissa, you've been a great sport. I apologize for Kim's behavior
Oh,
today. So
yes.
thank you so much for coming on and coming all
You
the
guys
way
are
over.
amazing.
Do we have to reimburse you for the $6 that you had to pay to come over the
Do you have
bridge?
a
Or
pass?
I have a pass. I'm
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
But thank you for
nice.
that.
Oh,
I
thank you.
appreciate it.
and let's work on the pickleball thing.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
make that
that'll be
happen.
fun.
All right,
Maybe you
everybody.
could do your show from the pickleball court.
That would be fun. All clothes. There'll be
Yes.
no naked pickleball,
In a
everybody.
manatee costume, you know.
Melissa Rice, everybody. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Melissa.
everybody.
Take
Bye.
care. Melissa Rice from the community housing over on Sanibel. Folks, we're going to play a little game before our next guest, who doesn't even look like he's here yet.